Hi, I'm Christy. Welcome to Pilates. Today's class is going to focus on side bending movements and rotation movements, twisting. These movements are really essential for keeping our spine mobile and flexible, and also to help to reduce or prevent back pain. Let's get ready for Pilates side bends and twists. Now we're going to begin today in our cross-legged seated posture. Let's take a moment to draw ourselves up to our full height. And by doing this, feeling the sitting bones pressing down, giving you a sense of feeling grounded, connected to the floor. Keep your sitting bones heavy, but now lengthen your spine by extending upward through the crown of your head. When we do just this simple act of lengthening our spine, we engage the muscles that run all along our spines. We call those spinal extensor muscles. Now from here, let's drop our shoulders down our backs. Keeping our shoulders down, let's take our hands, bring them to the sides of your rib cage. Okay, so just underneath your sternum, you're going to feel right here the sides of your ribs, and place one hand on either side. Come up to sitting tall again, and then just close your eyes for a moment and allow yourself to look inward, sensing what you feel. When you take your deep breath in, I want you to feel your rib cage widening under your hands. Feel it expanding front, back, and sides into your hands. And then when you exhale through your mouth, feel the ribs contract. So you feel the two halves of your rib cage pulling inward toward the middle. And let's do that again. Big, deep in breath. Feel the rib cage widen. Think of an accordion expanding. And then exhale and feel the contracting inward toward the middle. Let's do that one more time. Breathe into your rib cage. This is called lateral thoracic breathing. In other words, rib cage breathing. Exhale through your open mouth and draw the ribs in. In this way, when we breathe like this in Pilates, we're able to keep the lower abdominals engaged and still take the deep breaths that we need to create stability and energy. So now we're going to draw the lower belly in, lift up the pelvic floor to give us stability. Remember that whenever we mobilize one part of the body, something else needs to stay stable. So our stability part is going to be the core, the lower torso. Everything else will be mobile. We're going to start by bringing our fingertips to the floor by our sides and walk your fingertips as far out to the sides as you can without letting your hands leave the floor. Pull your shoulders back and find a straight line of your spine as though you were sitting with your back against a wall. Let's take a breath in and lift our right arm straight up in the air. Drop your shoulder down your back. Keeping the right arm very straight, slide your left hand away a little bit and reach your right arm across the body. It's okay to bend your left elbow, but let's keep the right arm straight. Let's come back up to your center with an in-breath and exhale, release your right hand. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, left arm up. Drop your shoulder, straighten the elbow. Exhale, bend your right elbow. We're side bending to the right without moving our left sit bone. Inhale back up to the middle and exhale, release. Again, right arm up, plug the shoulder down, elbow straight. Bend over to the left. You can bend your left elbow a bit to assist you there. Inhale, back up to the middle. Exhale, release. And last one here. Feel your left arm lift super straight. Ground the left sit bone, not letting it tip to the right. So we're tipping the upper torso, side bending right. Come back up to the center, and as you breathe out, release your hand. Now let's keep the shoulders down, keep your arms long. Moving into rotations, lead with your chest. Don't think of leading with your head, okay? Wrong part of the spine. Let's think of the mid-spine, the rib cage. Imagine a light in the center of your chest. We'll take a breath sitting upright, tall, chin retracted. As you breathe out, rotate your chest to the left and just let your arms go with you. So make sure that you're not overdoing the twist by turning your head to look all the way over the shoulder, not here. Also, let's make sure that our head didn't drop forward and our shoulders didn't round. Let's breathe in, turn your chest back to center. And as you breathe out, twist your chest to the right. You could take your left hand to the right knee if you want. You could take your right hand behind you, but maintain your posture and maintain the twisting movement from the chest. Let's do it again. Inhale to center. Our torso is upright. Exhale to the left. Breathe in, come back to the middle. Breathe out, twist to the right. There should be zero movement in the hips. One more time. Come to the middle with your inhale and just let your chest do the twisting as you exhale. Try not to lead with shoulders, neck, or hips. Breathe in, come back to the center, and then rotate your chest to the right. And then let's come back to the center. Now let's follow those principles through our class today. When we did our side bends, we kept the pelvis stable. When we did our rotations, we led the rotation with the chest. So it should have felt like the rib cage was doing the work, not the shoulders, head, and neck. Let's maintain that. We're going to take both legs and bend both knees over to the right. So you will feel like you're sitting on your left sit bone more than the right. This is normal. Okay, let's take our right hand and just hook it underneath the right ankle. Take your left arm up with a breath in. Now keep that left sit bone heavy. And as you breathe out, side bend over to the right. Maintain your alignment. So we don't want to start rounding forward. We only want to go as far as we can, feeling as though our back was against a wall. Let's take the left hand down now, press it into the floor, and without moving the left or right sit bone, take your right arm and side bend over to the left. You can bend your left elbow, but try not to tip the pelvis to go with you. Now let's come back up to center. Take your legs forward and come to an upright posture. Sit tall, pull your core in, lean back and lift up your feet, coming into a V-sit. Just hold here. Shoulders go down. Abdominals are strong. If you wish, you could take your arms forward. Now let's put our feet down, take both legs, bent knees, go over to the left. We're going to hook our left hand under the left ankle, ground the right sitting bone and lift your right arm up, and side bend over to the left. Again, try not to flex forward, okay? We will lose the effect we want to get in the lower back. Come back up and side bend the other way. Keep the pelvis stable, bend the right elbow if you need to. Come back up to center, bring your legs into the middle. Let's go back to that V-sit. Long back, stable core, and then lift your feet. Hold here for a breath. And let's do that one more time. Legs over to the right. We're going to take our left arm up. Feel the left sit bone on the floor. Pretend your back is against a wall. Even your left arm is against a wall as you side bend to the right. Come back to the middle. Keep your back against the imaginary wall and side bend left. Come back to center. Swing your legs around. Come into V-sit. Our side bends and twists are so good for your spine. They're so good for your lower back, but they have to be done correctly like everything else. So we take our legs over to the left. If our posture rounds forward, we won't be addressing the muscles we want. So we lengthen our right arm up. We side bend over to the left. Careful not to come out of alignment. We're going to come back to center and side bend to the right. And then all the way back to center. And one last V-sit, lifting up the feet. If you want a little bit more, you can extend out your toes, extend out the legs. Posture is what matters the most here. Draw in your abdominals as deeply as you can and take a breath. And then as you breathe out, release your feet. All right, let's go from here into a little roll back sequence. We're going to place our feet on the floor and walk your bum back a little bit. So instead of having the knees bent like this, feet really close to you, notice how you can't help but round your lower back. Walk your feet away enough that you can sit upright like this. If you need to lift your toes and dig your heels in, that's fine. If you can keep your feet on the floor, that's okay too. With the feet and knees hip width apart, let's take our arms straight ahead of us. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to round your back and stretch forward. Reach for your toes, okay? Really reach, protract the shoulders and pull your abs in. Now what I want you to do is start to lift your chest like a halfway lift in yoga and rise all the way up with the straightest spine possible. And then as you exhale, curl the tailbone under and keeping your upper torso nice and long, round your lower back and reach your ribs away from the hips in a partial roll back. Keep your shoulders plugged down your back. Let's inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, spine stretch, reach for the toes around the back. When you rise up, lead with the chest and come up really straight and tall. And then as you breathe out, round your lower back, scoop in the lower abs and come into a partial roll back. Breathe in, roll up. Breathe out, spine stretch. Drop your ears between your arms. Lead with your chest, plug your shoulders down your back, rise up. Exhale, partial roll back. Let's do one more like that. Use your abdominals to roll you up and then stretch out your spine. Reach with the fingertips toward the toes. Start to pull shoulders down the back. Lift your chest, rise up. And then let's go into this partial roll back, and this is where we're going to stay. So I want you to really tightly scoop your abs in. They're going to protect your lower back. They're going to keep you safe here. Stretch your arms straight forward, but pull those shoulders down. Keep your right arm right where it is and take a breath. And as you breathe out, twist to the left, opening the left arm wide. Remember, we don't want to lose our alignment by twisting the hips, nor do we want to bunch up the shoulders. Now we're going to come back to sitting tall. I want you to lead with your core and just let the left arm follow. Now we do a partial roll back and rotate your chest to the right. Remember what part of you you're rotating from. You're leading with the chest, not the arm. Use your core to bring you back up as you inhale and keep going. Notice what you're leading with. Your chest should be leading the way. The arm is free. Inhale, use your core to bring you back up. And exhale, partial roll back and rotate to the right. Let's do one more in each direction. You should be feeling your obliques. They're the core muscles that are kind of going to feel like they're in the sides. Okay? Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale and oblique roll back to the right. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, do a spine stretch. So we're going to wiggle ourselves closer to the foot end of the mat. Now keep your fingertips on your toes. Lift your chest so that your back is really straight, like really lengthen it. And then as you breathe out, partial roll back, continue on. Keep your abdominals active. Try not to come down with a thunk, okay, or a thud. Try to come down nice and slow, articulating down. Now, wiggle yourself into the mat if you need to. Walk your feet in a little closer to you. And let's start to move into some deep abdominal work. We're going to start with a lateral crunch. So think of side bending. That's the movement we're going to be creating here. I want us to be in a neutral alignment in our pelvis. Find that first. Deeply activate those inner core muscles. Don't forget about your pelvic floor. That's the bottom of your core. Okay, so everything's engaged, and just like in a seated side bend, the sit bones and the pelvis should not move. Now we're going to extend out our arms on the floor like hundreds. We're reaching toward the heels. We're going to take a breath, and as we breathe out, we're going to come into an upper abdominal curl. And I want you to pull your shoulders down so much that you feel the pointy tips of your shoulder blades on the floor. Keep your neutral spine and keep the abs in. So we take a breath here. And as we breathe out, we're going to take a side bend to the left, which means that your left hand is going to reach for your left ankle. The left rib moves to the left hip. You feel the right side lengthen. We're going to inhale to reach to the right. Don't move your hips. Exhale to the left. So we're doing this little lateral crunch. Okay? I don't want you to think necessarily of touching your ankle. In Pilates, we don't really think about the distal end, the far away end of the joint. We want to think about what's happening in the torso. So think about bringing your right rib to your right hip and then left rib to left hip. Think side bend. Keep the pointy bases of your shoulder blades on the floor and push your feet into the floor to avoid any moving in the knees. We're going to do a couple more on each side. So side bend left, this is called a lateral crunch. Use your abdominals to make the movement happen rather than involving arms. One more time, both sides. And then come to center and lower your head and shoulders down. Now, stabilizing the pelvis is going to be really important here. We're going to move to tabletop, lifting your left leg up and then the right. And that's important that we keep that nice active abdominal area so our pelvis does not leave neutral. Engage your core and squeeze knees and feet together. Now, we're going to take our hands to support our head. Let's try not to pull our elbows up. So do that right now. Point your elbows to the ceiling. Notice how the backs of your shoulders rounded. Let's correct that by squeezing the shoulder blades together, allowing the elbows to stay wide. Abdominals in as you take a breath. Keep your knees together, and as you exhale, curl your head and chest up and do a small rotation to the right. You should be on a diagonal, not looking laterally to the right, looking out past the outer hip. Inhale to the floor, and then exhale, do the other side. Curl up and look toward the foot end of the mat. Knees stay together. Inhale all the way to the floor. Your elbows stay wide. You lead with your chest. And I say this a lot because it's sort of hard to get out of our brains. You know, I think somewhere in high school gym class, we all learned that we should be taking our elbow to our knee when we twist. That's great if you want to stretch the muscles of the back of the shoulder, but it does zero for your abdominals, and it's kind of a fake in the movement. It helps like you think that you're curling up higher without using the core muscles. So keep those elbows wide, twist your chest toward the foot corner of your mat, lower all the way down, and twist your chest to the foot corner of your mat. One more time, just get those elbows right out of the way. Breathe out as you curl up. Breathe in to lower down. And one more. It's a diagonal twist, not a lateral twist like we did seated. Now, don't put your feet down. Keep your legs up. We're going to move into TikToks. Our arms go up in the air with palms facing each other, but plug your shoulders down so you feel them meet the floor. Now take your arms wide, like a letter T, with palms facing up. Principle of this exercise is stability within movement. So press your shoulders into the floor, your arms and your upper back. That needs to stay flat, pin them down. Squeeze your knees together and draw in your abs as you inhale. As you exhale, let your pelvis tip over toward the right. If your left shoulder comes off the floor, you've gone too far to stabilize. If your left knee slid down inside the right knee, you're not creating a stable pelvis. Inhale, use your abs to bring the knees back. As you exhale, keep those knees and feet together. Let the legs fall left. If your right shoulder comes off the floor, you've gone too far. Inhale, bring it back. TikToks. So this is very much like a dead bug or a toe tap. We need to keep one part of our body stable, that's the upper torso, as the lower body moves. If our upper body is moving, we have not created the stability that we need to get the abdominal activation. So remember, it's not all about the movement you create. It's as important to keep the parts of our body stable that we don't want to move. So let's do one more to the right. And then bring it back into center. Don't put your feet down yet. We're going to bring our arms by our side with palms face down and come into the 100s. Firm up your abs and take a breath. And as you breathe out, curl up. Knees can stay bent, or for a little bit more challenge, you can extend out the legs, but squeeze those inner thighs together so your hip flexors don't take over. And start to pump your arms up and down, taking a deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One long breath in, 5. One long breath out, 5. Like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. Really hugging the inner thighs together will help release your hip flexors. This is 50. So will pulling your abdominals in more deeply. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 60. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Firm up the abs a little more, 80. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Last one. Breathe out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not done yet. Lower to the floor, lift your legs straight up in the air. Okay, keep squeezing your legs together. Take your arms straight up in the air with palms facing each other again, and then open them wide to the side. Now look up at your toes. Make sure they line up. Squeeze your feet together. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Pendulum. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, let the hips and legs tip to the left. You will not be able to go so far this time. Okay, let's inhale. Use your core to bring the legs back in and exhale to the other side. One of the things that we can sort of get stuck in our mind is a yoga spinal twist. And I've seen people try and take their legs to the floor. It is not possible to keep the stability if your legs go too far. So keep in mind what your priority is. Both shoulders flat on the floor. If one is starting to lift, you need to stop, rethink, reset, try again. Let's do one last one to the right. And then come back to center. Don't put your feet down. Bend your knees, hands behind the head. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Squeeze shoulder blades together and plug them down and take a breath in. And as we exhale, we do crisscross. Twist left, stretch out the right leg. Inhale, back to the middle. Twist right, stretch out the left leg. Don't forget about extending out that straight leg. And then again, we want to think about leading with the chest as we twist, not trying to involve perimeter muscles like the muscles around the elbows. Irrelevant. Twist from the chest. Focus on the muscles you want to use to create the movement, not just on trying to mimic the movement. One more time. Twist to the left, back to center, twist to the right, back to center, and now you can release, and now you can put your feet on the floor. Okay, we're going to do a little quick mobility and stretch. Arms open to the sides, feet hip width apart with the knees bent. And we just let your legs fall to the left and head turn to the right. But make it active, guys. This isn't a yin yoga passive stretch. You want to dig your right heel in, engage the right glute, and press that right front hip forward. And then let's come to the middle and switch sides. Bring your legs as far to the right as you can. Left thigh comes as close to the floor as you can. And then you push the heel in and just engage. You should feel a nice stretch in the front of your hip. And let's do one more, both sides. So legs go over to the left. You can turn head to the right. Mobility and stability go together. So mobility is the ability to move freely in the joints, and then stability is the ability to hold your body still. Can't have one without the other. They go together. Now, we're going to walk our feet back in, and we're going to roll over for a little side series. Let's come onto our left side. Now, to start out, we're going to start with our left forearm on the floor. So our left elbow should be directly underneath the shoulder, not over here, right? And not tucked in here. Bring it right underneath with the palm flat on the floor. Now take your legs and extend them straight out for now and try to make your body a straight line. So in other words, we don't want to kind of be slumped and sitting rounded with our poor posture slumping into the shoulder. We're going to sit up nice and tall. From here, we're going to bend our left knee, and it can come forward a little bit, but your right leg needs to extend straight out, not at a 45-degree angle forward, but straight out. And I want you to flex your foot. And what's super important here, guys, is that that right leg stays as straight as possible at the knee. So no bend in the knee. Now let's just take our right hand, place it lightly on the floor, lift out of your shoulders and pull in your abs. We're going to take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're just going to lift that right leg as high as we can. It won't go super high. I don't want you to drop your ribs or move your hips. Let's inhale down and exhale up. So we're stabilizing now. I need you to hold your body really, really still. Don't bend your knee and don't drop your rib cage. Keep your shoulder nice and stable and plugged into the back of the body. Let's do 4 more. So you could probably lift your leg higher, but if you did, you'd drop your rib cage to the floor and be out of alignment. So let's be happy with the leg at hip height. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. We're going to hold here, point our toes, keep that leg straight, use your thigh, and we're going to do circles without moving the hip. So they're little circles. We're going to do 4 more. Stay strong in shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Go backwards. Keep that leg really strong, really straight. Keep reaching through your toes. Here for 3, 2, 1. and lower the top leg down. Now, from here, take your right hand to your hip or lay it along your leg. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, press into the left knee and lift everything up. Now, you can keep your right toes on the floor if you like, or you can lift the right toes up. Let's inhale, lower down, and do it again. Exhale, use the left side of your waist and hip to lift you up. Inhale down, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Now we're going to do 4 more, but we're going to add on here. Inhale down. This time, as you come up, do a little side bend. Reach the right arm across the body. Inhale down. Exhale. This is called side bend lift. Lower down as you breathe in, and then create the inward curve in the left side of your waist, side bending. Last one, right arm reaches over the body, and then let yourself come down. Now we got 1 more to go here. From here, we're going to take the right leg, bend your knee, grab your ankle. Watch this. I'm going to take my hand, reach it underneath my right ankle. So I'm holding onto the outside, and I'm going to put my foot on the floor. Now I'm going to extend out my left leg straight out and flex the foot. And I'm going to lift my left leg. You could rock back on the sit bones if you want. So rocking a little backward. I'm going to lift that left leg straight up. It's not going to go very far. Stay strong in the left shoulder. And we're going to do 4 more. Straight up. Inner thighs. 2 and 1. And then lower down. Now, let's flip it over. Let's come to the other side. And before we go to the other side, notice your left shoulder. And you will feel like you got a little workout in that left shoulder. It's created a little stability for that shoulder. So give it a couple little rolls. Enjoy that little bit of accentuated freedom of movement in that shoulder. Now let's roll over onto the right side and let's set ourselves up again. So the right elbow directly underneath the shoulder, the palm face down. Extend out your legs and then bend that right knee a little bit. Okay, make sure your torso is strong, so don't let your body collapse and lose your core engagement. We're going to flex the left foot really strongly, making that leg straight. And lifting your chest, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, lift the top leg. No bend in the knee. No moving in the pelvis. And not sinking into your core. And we're going to do 4 more. And that leg should be right in line with the rest of your body rather than forward. 2 more. And last one we hold. Point your toe with no bend in the left knee. Do little circles. This is all about strength in your leg right now and being able to keep that leg really straight. Now go backward. Circle, circle. Keep that hip stable. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breath. Hand can come to hip or the leg. As you breathe out, lift. Side bend. You could take that top leg up if you want. Inhale, lower down, and exhale, lift. Let's do 2 more. Leave the right knee on the floor. Allow yourself to press into the right knee. Lift up from the hip and waist. Last one, inhale down and exhale up. Now this is where we change. We leave the left foot down, take a breath, and when we breathe out, we're going to do a little side bend. Okay, pull your head back, create that bend. Inhale down to the floor. Stay stable in the right shoulder. Pick up from the waist. And we do 2 more. Inhale down, exhale up. Last one. Inhale, lower down, and exhale, lift. And then finally, we come to the inner thigh raise. So we're going to take our left knee, bend it. Now watch again. My hand comes underneath the ankle and holds onto the outside, the pinky toe side of my ankle from underneath. I'm going to put my foot on the floor. Now I'm going to take my right leg and extend it out. Make it perfectly straight. Roll back onto the right sitting bone a little bit. And then lift that right inner thigh, lift. And just stay strong in your shoulders, don't collapse. Keep your core engaged. 4, you'll feel right at the top that inner group of inner thigh muscles. 2 and 1. and then release down. All right, we're going to roll ourselves over back onto our back. And from here, we're going to roll up to a spine twist. So today, I'd like us to practice the roll up with as much focus on using the abdominals as possible. So I'm going to show you 3 things that could go wrong in a roll up. The first thing, watch for a sec. First thing is legs coming up. This happens because your hip flexors are doing more work than your abdominals. What's the secret? Dig your heels in and focus on your abdominals. Here's the other one. Here's momentum. This is a total cheat, okay? That's nothing but a cheat. You're just using momentum to throw yourself up to sitting. Sure, you'll come up to sitting, not using the abs. The key in everything is to focus on being in a neutral spine, gluing the legs to the floor and using those abdominals. So let's start with our arms right by our sides today. This is going to help prevent the momentum. Glue your legs to the floor and take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, start to curl up your head and your shoulders. Pull your lower abdominals in and slide your hands along your legs. Take a deep breath, sit up tall. As you breathe out, pull the abdominals in, glue the legs to the floor, and roll yourself back down. And let's try one more like that. Breathe in from your neutral spine, lift your head and shoulders, and without using your shoulders, engage your core to bring you up. And now let's come right up. Take your arms and reach them straight out to the sides as you inhale. And without rounding anywhere in the back, exhale, rotate your chest to the left. And then inhale, come back to the middle. And exhale, sit upright, rotate your chest to the right. Breathe in, come to the middle, hands by legs. As you breathe out, roll yourself back down. Glue your legs to the floor. Pulling shoulders away from the chest. Take a breath in. Use your abdominals. Exhale. Roll yourself up. Keep practicing. Arms out to the side as you breathe in. Upright torso. Head pulled back. We lead with the chest as we twist to the left. We inhale. Come back to the middle. We lead with the chest as we twist to the right. Inhale, back to the middle. And this is the last roll back and roll up. Exhale, roll back. Try to keep your shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders, neutral spine. Exhale, roll yourself up. And then open out your arms, take a breath, sit up upright, head pulled back. As you breathe out, keep that posture, rotate to the left. Inhale, come back to the middle. And exhale, rotate to the right. Now come back to the center and lower your hands. So we're going to go into a variation of saw now. And we're going to take our legs about mat distance apart, no wider than that. Now from here, roll over to your left sitting bone and pull your right sit bone out from underneath you. And then do the same thing on the other side. So what that's going to do is help to improve your posture in your lower back. Another technique, you could place your hands on the floor and shimmy forward a bit. To me, this feels like I'm trying to pull up my pants with my mat. Okay, now come to sitting upright and flex your feet. That means the toes point up and the knees point up. We need to keep that way. Now we're going to take our fingertips to the floor. And we're going to come back to something we did when we started. So we're going to take a deep breath in here, pull in your core. When you breathe out, start to drop your chin to your chest, round your shoulders and just stretch forward, just like this, without lifting the sit bones off the floor. Now, from here, I want you to keep your hands where they are, lift your chest and lengthen so that your back is super straight. Take a look at the screen if you're not sure. Feet are flexed, pull in the abs. From here, take your right hand and bring it to the outside of the left ankle. Your spine is straight. The right leg is straight. We're going to take our left arm, reach it forward, and slowly, with a very straight spine, reach it all the way up in the air and twist it up and over and to the left, just like this. Pause there and then keep going. Lower the arm down, bring it back one more time. Reach forward, take a breath in. Open that arm out wide. We're twisting the chest completely to the left with a straight spine. And then as we breathe out, we're going to release. Now let's come to the middle. Take a breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to round our back again. Stretch your spine forward. And then keep your fingertips on the floor. Lift your chest. Make your back. See how straight? This is how straight you want it to be. Now keep that straight back. Take your left hand to the outside of the right calf or ankle. Reach your right arm forward. And as you breathe in, start to circle that right arm. Open it out so the arms are basically straight across from each other. And then let that arm come down. And through this, try to keep your back really, really, really straight. And then bring it down. We're going to do one more on each side. This is so healthy for the lower back. Pull the abs in as you do your spine stretch. And then lift your chest. So remember, no rounding anywhere. Shoulders are down, back is straight. Right hand to the left ankle or calf. Reach your left arm forward. Inhale, open up into a circle. Don't move the right leg. And then exhale, circle around. One more time. Open up like a windmill, a big circle. And release. And we take it back to the center. Spine stretch forward. Lift the chest, come to a flat back, and now the left hand comes to the right ankle. Reach your right arm out and open out. So your arms are straight across from each other, and then circle around. And one more time, open it out wide and release. Let's bring our legs in, swing them all the way around. Let's bring ourselves right into a plank. No messing around, right into the plank. Hands under shoulders near the top of the mat. Stabilize a neutral spine. Pull your shoulders down and step back. Let's keep our upper torso stable. I want your nose to point down. I want the shoulders to remain level, and I want your rib cage to stay facing the floor. We take a breath in. And as we breathe out, we bring our right knee to the left elbow. Now remember what I just said. Don't twist your head and shoulders to the left, just your right knee. Inhale, step back. And then as you exhale, twist your hips as you bring your left knee to the right elbow. Inhale, step back. Exhale, plank twist. Here, you are twisting from the waist down. What we want to avoid is rotating the entire spine in that direction. So stay looking straight down. Use your obliques to make this happen. Let's do 2 more on each side. One more time. Again, stabilize and then mobilize. Last one. And then from here, lower your knees to the floor. Lower all the way down. Wouldn't be Pilates without a back extension. Let's do flight. Take your arms down, long along the mat. Take them a little wider than the mat with palms face down and widen your feet a bit. Engage your glutes and straighten your legs and take a breath. And as you breathe out, float up your head, chest, legs, and arms. Like everything, this should never be done in a fast jerking movement. I want you to slow it down. Inhale, lower, slow, 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 slow with control. Keep your abdominals engaged and lift up slowly with no jerking, no jumping, no throwing, no thrusting. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, lower down to the floor. Exhale, floating up. Shoulders should feel like they're moving toward the hips, and we'll do 1 more. Inhale, lower down, and exhale, lifting up. Now let's lower down, take our hands under the shoulders, push yourself up, come back to plank. And from plank, we'll take our right hand into the center of the mat and flip your feet to the left and lift up your left arm. Now, be on the edges of your feet. So you are on the inner edge of the left foot, the outer edge of the right foot. Get your ankles off the floor. Engage your glutes and push your hips forward. Pull in your abs and then pull your head back. Now take an inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to thread the needle. In this variation, do not move your feet, but do pike the hips up like a downward dog. Reach your left arm all the way over and under to the right. As you inhale, bring yourself back to side plank. And as you exhale, pike up your hips. Don't twist your feet. And let's do that 3 more times on this side. Inhale, side plank, pause, feel your alignment, and then twist. And pick up your hips so you feel those abs piking up. Inhale back to the middle. Exhale, twist. 1 more time. Inhale, side plank. Exhale, thread the needle. Take it back to plank. Take a breath, realign, make sure your hips aren't piked up here. And then when you breathe out, flip to side plank on the left hand. Pause before you start moving. Make sure, don't be overconfident and think you don't have to check your alignment. Engage your glutes, engage your abs, straighten your legs, and check out your position of your feet. Take a breath in now. And as we exhale, we pike up the hips a bit, give ourselves some room, and reach the right arm under the left arm like a tent. And then inhale, pause, feel your alignment, and exhale. Side plank, thread the needle. 3 more. I got to a point in my Pilates practice when I went through my teacher training, it was arrogance on my part. I kind of thought, I know what a side plank is. I don't need to check my alignment. And then I went to a workshop and one of the instructors said, Christy, your back is really arched in your side plank. I was kind of devastated, but it just goes to show you, no matter how long you've been practicing, take the time to check your alignment. Let's come back to plank. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your knees to the floor. Let's open up our knees about as wide as the mat. Pull your hips towards your heels and lengthen out into a child's pose. I don't know about you guys, but boy, I feel the muscles around my waist all right. Let's take a breath. Keep your elbows off the floor, arms long. And as you breathe out, walk your hands over to the left. Cross your right wrist over the left. Chest and shoulders should face the floor and be level to the floor. Press them down and pull your right hip back. That part of your body you're stretching right now, one of the muscles you're stretching here is called your quadratus lumborum. It's the lower back muscle that we stretch when we bend to the side. This muscle gets tight when we sit for extended periods through our day. Let's walk ourselves through the middle and take it over to the other side. So our left wrist crosses over the right, and then we pull the left hip back. Press your chest down and breathe deeply and sense that left quadratus lumborum lengthening, helping to undo the negative effects of sitting for prolonged periods of time. Let's walk ourselves back to the middle, rise back up, and let's just take ourselves all the way over to our backs to finish. As we lower down to the floor, we're going to let our arms open out wide. Bring your feet and knees together this time and let both legs fall over to the right and your head turn left. Roll that left shoulder down. Try to press your thighs down as close to the floor as you can, releasing into a nice long spinal twist. And then bring your legs back up through center. Let both knees, keep them stacked if you can. Let them fall to the left. Turn your head to the right. Roll that shoulder down and just press your thighs down toward the floor. And then come back to center, bring knees to chest and rise up to seated. So if you spend a lot of time sitting, if your job forces you to spend time sitting, or if you're a student, you spend a lot of time sitting, every now and again, do a little side bending. Even if you have to do it seated, just take your arm across your body, do the other side, do that a few times, loosening up those muscles, do a couple twists, and notice how it impacts your day. Once again, thank you all for being here and have a wonderful rest of your day.